Hi friends! Today I'm going to show you how I achieved this Lolita look from sleepy gremlin girl to lovely princess. I start with Urban Decay primer, which I rub all over my lids, then cover with a shimmery shadow base, similar to my skin tone but with a touch of gold. I'm using a pink shadow from the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette Brights, and this palette was kind of intimidating when I first saw it. My roommates got it for me for Christmas, but I've come to really love it. It's great to add really pigmented pops of color, and I like to blend the matte with my shimmery eyeshadow base, that way I have the best of shimmer shadow and color. I'm applying the shadow with a pencil smudge brush and patting it from the middle kind of back of my eyelid up into a scalene triangle type shape. And here I thought I would never use geometry, but I'm applying it to makeup. Woohoo, math! I'm applying a shimmery bubblegum eyeshadow, which is from a Daiso palette. Probably not the best product, but it works. I'm using a concealer brush and just patting it down on my eyelids and bringing it over to the darker pink and kind of smudging the line between the two a little bit as I do that. Now I'm using a shimmery peach, which is also from a Daiso palette. I'm brushing it just above the bubblegum color and into the darker pink color, kind of where they meet, as a transition shade. I'm going to touch up the center of that darker pink color because I lost a little bit of the pigment in blurring out the edges, but I'm not going to go over top of the edges again. Now I'm applying a NYX foundation. I've liked this trend of doing eyeshadow first and then foundation, at least my upper eyeshadow, because I can clean it up as I'm doing foundation and I can wipe off any excess before I apply my face makeup. I'm using one of those silicone blenders. I know they're a bit gimmicky, but I actually really like them. I find that they work really well. The blender moves around the makeup on top of your skin and pats it in without absorbing any. It glides very flawlessly. When I was in middle school, I had a friend whose father was a plastic surgeon and they had extra chin implants laying around their house, and that's what these blenders remind me of. Chin implants. Now I'm applying this concealer, which I believe is from NYX, but the label on it has worn off because I use it so frequently. I'm just doing it really thick in a kind of upside down wide triangle shape, and then I'm blending it in with my finger. I find it's really hard to blend concealer under my eyes with any tool because it's kind of a narrow space, so I find that my finger works the best. I'm going to allow my face makeup, my concealer, and foundation to set for a minute and start on my eyeliner. I do my eyeliner in 3 parts now. I do it across my lid and then add on the wing and then connect the two. I space them out and give them a bit of time for each step so that the eyeliner can dry and that there's less likely it will smudge. My liquid face makeup has had some time to set, so now I'm going to cover it with this NYX pressed powder just by patting it all over my face. Coming back to my eyeliner now that the first part has dried and drawing on the wing, I used to use a stencil for this, but now I find it's kind of easy to just follow the angle of my lower lash line up, and I also am in the same kind of area as the eyeshadow that I've applied, and I'm just gonna draw a thin wing on either side. While I'm waiting for my eyeliner to dry, I'm gonna start working on my brows by using a thin pencil and just kind of shading in a teardrop shape, and then going over it with a thicker pencil that gives it a waxier texture and kind of smushes out the shape. And then finally with a flat angle brush using the mint color in that NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette, which matches my new hair perfectly. I just draw over what I did with the pencils and voila! Let's take a moment to set what I've done so far with NYX's matte finish. I'm using Lush's Bubblegum Lip Scrub to get off any excess makeup on my lips or dry skin. Some people like to eat this, but I like to mostly just wipe it off with a wet cloth. Now the fun part, lips! Peak Cosmetics sent me a bunch of lipsticks to test out and I really love the colors of all of them. It was hard to decide on which one to use. I decided to go with Bonica because it stands out, it's a pretty pink, and it's sort of in the realms of natural colors, and I wanted to go with a softer lip because my eyes are so bright. This lipstick is a creamy matte and I just applied it all over my lips, but also used it in a way as a lip liner just by drawing with the edge of it. This way I could overline my lips and make them look bigger and fuller than they are. The other end of the Peak Cosmetics lipsticks is a gloss, which is great throughout the day. If your lips get dry, you can add gloss on top of it, but I'm a real fan of matte dry lipsticks, so I'm not going to use it this time. Lips are done, and my eyeliner has had a chance to dry, so now I'm going back and filling in the two pieces. Using that concealer brush again, I'm going in with the peachy color I used on top and applying it along the bottom of my eyes. Now I'm using these crazy long Rockalash eyelashes in number 1 Lashing Out Loud. I've seen these lashes used in a lot of looks by my friends on Instagram, and I think that they're really pretty. I really wanted to try them out. They're surprisingly very lightweight. I'm going in with a soft pink blush while my eyelashes dry. I do a lot of really heavy blush underneath my eyes instead of concealer, but this time I wanted to try a different look, something a little bit more subtle. Peak Cosmetics also sent me their Campfire 3D Fiber Lashes Mascara, which I didn't quite understand at first, but after doing this tutorial I now understand, but it freaked me out a little bit because one of the tubes is basically loose fibers that you will adhere to your natural lashes to make them look longer and bigger. But all of these tiny little fibers just gave me the creeps, and I was too afraid to apply them near my eye because there seemed to be a lot of fallout. You're supposed to use the adhesive mascara first and then apply the fibers and then apply the mascara over top, but since I'm using false lashes, I'm just going to use the mascara portion of it. This mascara is super liquidy, and I love that because it really adheres to my lashes, helps blend them in with the falsies, and my lashes are blonde, so they need that watery kind of thickness to really cover all of my lash and almost dye it black. And now my makeup's done, I'm just gonna set my face and move on to hair. I styled my bangs and side pieces. I can't really style my bangs on camera because it's a lot of work. I have 2 cowlicks in my bangs. It's crazy. I also got into my Little Bird Symphonia OP, which I'm obsessed with. The sleeves are kind of funny to style my hair within though. Now I'm gonna brush out the rest of my hair and begin to style it. I'm using this brush that was sent to me by Duval, which is the sister company to Peak Cosmetics, and this brush is phenomenal. I use it every day. It's perfect for getting tangles out with ease. I'm using this technique I learned from ALB in Wonderland's long hair video, where you hold the bottom of your hair and you brush from the bottom to the top to minimize breakage. I usually do really tight small curls when I'm using my hair with Lolita, but this time I wanted to experiment with a bigger wavy look. Using the Duval curler, I've used this a bunch of times with other looks, so excuse how dirty it is. I'm just wrapping a little section at a time and holding it there until I can feel the heat through the hair. One time lapse later and my hair is fully curled. Now I'm going to take a section of the top of my hair, pulling it into a ponytail way up high in the center of my head, kind of like a waterfall. Having the top layer of my hair in this ponytail up high helps separate my side pieces from the back of my hair, and it also makes a fuller look. Now I'm adding the matching head bow to Little Bird Symphonia to cover up the ugly hairband and pull this look completely together. And that's the complete look, completion, 100%, combo, finish. I want to try doing some more Lolita makeup video looks. A lot of people ask me in the comments to do makeup videos, so if there's anything specific that you want to see, let me know. If you try any looks inspired by this one or of any of my pictures, tag them with lovely Lolita looks. I'll be sure to check them out and maybe you'll be featured in a future video. Until next time, stay lovely!